Hello students, the next topic we have is the for loops and the range function. So previously we had studied about the while loop, and this is the second one, which is the for loop. The while loop keeps looping while its condition is true. But what if you want to execute a block of code only a certain number of times? So we had seen that while goes on evaluating as long as the condition is true, and once the condition is false, it comes out of the loop. But if you want to execute a block of code for a certain number of times, that is for a certain number of times n, that time you can make use of what is known as the for loop. So for loop is used along with the range function. Okay. Sorry. In code, a for statement looks something like for I in range of 5. So whenever you are making use of a for statement, it looks like this: the keyword for, a variable I, keyword in, and a function range, a value in that range function, followed by a colon. So a for statement looks like this and always includes the following. So the for statement consists of the following. The first thing is the for keyword, then you have a variable name, the in keyword, a call to the range method with up to 3 integers passed to it. So to this range method you can pass 3 integers separated by comma, a colon for the for statement, and starting on the next line an indented block of code called the for clause. Okay, so all these are required for a for statement: the for keyword, a variable name, the keyword in, a range method, and a colon. Then next line you can write a code, and that code will call it as a for clause. So let us see an example for the for loop. So for example, for I in range of 5, okay, colon. So what I've done is I've used the for keyword, then I've used a variable I. This variable will be initialized to 0 automatically, and then you have to use the keyword in and the function or the method range, and for how many times you want to repeat it. Okay, so I want to repeat the numbers from 0 to 5, but it will not take 5. Okay, so then you have to end it with the colon. So when you end it with the colon, immediately this much space will be given. So whatever you write next, the block of code, that will come in an indented block, and that block of code will be called as a for clause because it is coming under for loop. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll print I, that is the value of I. So initially the value of I will be 0, then it will go on from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, so on till it reaches 5. Okay, so once it will see it has reached 5, it will come out of the loop. So it will only print the values from 0 to 4. So press enter, backspace, enter. So you can see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has printed the value of I. If you want, you can print a particular text also for a number of times, that is for I in range of 5. Okay, put a colon, print hi. Okay, a particular text also you can print for a number of times, then press enter, backspace, enter. Okay, you will get hi, that is printed 5 times. Okay, so this is how the for loop will execute, and this statement you have to use it correctly. Okay, next they have given a program here. This program they are calling it as 5 times.py. Let us see what they are printing. Print my name is, this will be printed only once, print my name is, and they have used a for statement for I in range of 5. I variable is used here. Range of 5 means the below text or the below code which is there, the for clause, it will be printed 5 times. Okay, so let us see. Print my name is, for I is range of 5, print Jimmy 5 times, and they have used a function here str of I. So what it will do here is the I value it will print. Initially the value of I is how much here? 0. So this 0 is an integer, so that integer is converted to string and then it is concatenated to this statement. Okay, that it will print Jimmy 5 times of 0, Jimmy 5 times of 1. So as this print statement is a string, so and the value of I is 0, so string and integer will not get concatenated, so you have to convert it into string by using the str function. So the I values from 0 to 4, it will go on printing along with this statement. Okay, so let us check this program. Okay, I'll write it here. Print my name is, okay, for I in range of 5 colon print. Okay, next line, print Jimmy 5 times, okay, put a parenthesis, make use of the concatenation and make use of the function str of I. If you don't put those parentheses, then it will considered as part of the string itself. Okay, so you put your parenthesis, close the concatenation, close that function, and then you close the print function. Okay, so what will happen here is print, it will print my name is only once, then you are making use of the for statement for, then the variable name I, keyword in, the function range and the value range, how many times you want to repeat it, ended with the colon. So what it will print is Jimmy 5 times str of I. So this str of I, what is there, is concatenated with this string. If you don't put here parenthesis and this colon, this entire thing will be printed as a part of a string. Okay, but we want the value to be printed, so initially the value of I is how much here? 0. As it is an integer, it will not get concatenated with the string, it will show an error. So this integer value you have to convert it to string by using the function str of that value. So integer of 0 will be converted to string of 0, then it will print Jimmy 5 times of 0. Next again it will check I value will become 1, 1 is less than 5, so Jimmy 5 times of 1. Again second time it will print. Third time its I value will be 2, 2 is less than 5 in the range of 5, so Jimmy 5 times of 2. So this will go on till you reach 5, till you reach 4. As 4 is less than 5, it will print Jimmy 5 times of 4. But once it reaches 5, it will not take 5. Okay, it will take less than 5. So save this program, Control S. Okay, I'll name it as 1. Save, and to run the program F5. Okay, so you have seen here my name is, this has printed only once, Jimmy 5 times of 0. Jimmy 5 times of 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is showing how many times it has printed, and the range is from 0 to 4. It has started with 0 and it has ended with 4. Okay. This is the flowchart for that 5 times .py. Start. This will get printed only once. Print my name is. Then you write the for loop in a diamond symbol. Then for I in range of 5. Here is the looping. Print Jimmy 5 times. This print statement will be printed as long as this for statement is true. Again it will come back, it will check for the condition. If the condition is true, that means I value is less than 5. Again it will be printed. And once it is printed till it reaches the condition 5, done looping and then end. Okay, so this was the flowchart for 5times.py, and once that program gets executed, you'll find this, that is my name is Jimmy, Jimmy 5 times of 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So you can use break and continue statements inside for loops as well. So break and continue statements you can use, but in fact you can use continue and break statements only inside while and for loops. Okay, you can use break and continue statements only within while and for loops. If you try to use this statement elsewhere, Python will give you an error. So they are saying that with while loop and the for loop you can make use of the continue statement and the break statement, but if you use it with other statements, then Python will give you an error. So there is one more program here which is calculating the sum, which is calculating the total from 0 to 100. Okay, so the sum from 0 to 100 is getting here. So initially they have taken a variable and the variable name is total, and they have initialized it with the value 0. Okay, then they have made use of the statement for and variable name num. This num's initial value will be initialized to 0, num in range of 101. So it will take the values from 0 to 100. Okay, 0 to 100 it will take, and here you are calculating the sum, that is total initial value will be 0, then num's initial value will be 0, 0 plus 0, total will be 0. Then next it will take the value of 1, 2 and so on, and finally when it reaches 101 it will stop. So it will print the total from 0 to 100. Okay, so this is nothing but to finding the sum from 0 to 100 here. We'll try this problem. Okay, total, what will be the initial value of total? 0. Then you make use of the for statement for num in range of 101. Okay, so as you want to take till 100, you set a threshold to 101. If you take 100, it will take only the sum from 0 to 99. Then next what we'll do is we'll take the formula for calculating the sum. Total is equals to total plus num. So what it will take, the first value is 0, num value also is 0, so 0 plus 0 will be 0. Okay, next it will take the value 1, then it will be 0 plus 1 1. Okay, then 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 2, like that it will go on taking the total of the numbers one by one. Okay, then you can print the total. Okay, you can print the total. So it will go on calculate adding the numbers of total with going on with number, and finally it will print the total. So let us execute this. Control S, 2, I'll save it as 2. Okay, and F5. So you can see that the total from 0 to 100 is 5050. Okay, so it has printed the total. As this print statement is outside, it will print the total only once. Okay, if you take it inside the for clause, that means inside the for loop, if you take it, it will print every iteration's total. Okay, so initially the total value will be 0, then it will be 1. It will go on printing every iterations, every for loop's total. For example, just press Ctrl S, F5. Okay, so you can see here it has gone on printing. Initially the value sum will be 0, then it will be 1, then it will be 3, then it will be 6. Okay, so it has printed for every statement of for loop till it reaches the final total, that is 5050. Okay, so if you want to print every total, you can make take print inside the for loop. If you want the final total, then you have to take the print statement outside the for loop. Okay, so this is how they are making use of the for loop here. The next we have is an equivalent while loop. So instead of using a for loop, the same task you can do it using a while loop also. You can actually use a while loop to do the same thing as a for loop, but for loops are just more concise. Concise means they are in brief. Okay, while you have to write a while loop in a detail. For example, the previous program which we had, that is Jimmy 5 times getting printed, so that using while loop is written here. Print my name is, so you have to initialize the value of I here, I is equals to 0, make use of the while statement, and then you have the condition I less than 5, then you end it with the colon. So this will print Jamie 5 times of str of I, then you have to increment the value of I here. So what happens here is, here you have to write everything separately. Here you have the initialization, then you have the condition, and then you have the incrementation. So this you have to, while making use of a while loop, you have to write that in detail. So the same output you'll get, that is give me 5 times of 0, of 1, of 2, and so on. Okay. The next you have is the starting, stopping, and the stepping arguments to range. Okay, so here they have an extra features by making use of the range function. Let us see what is that. Some functions can be called with multiple arguments separated by comma, and range function is one of them. This lets you change the integer passed to range function to follow any sequence of integers, including starting at a number other than 0. So to this range functions, they can pass multiple arguments. Previously we were passing only one argument, that was one number. So here they are saying that we can pass multiple arguments to range, and that too separated by comma. Okay, so here we have an example here for I in range of 12 comma 16. So this is the starting number, this is the ending number from till where you want to end, and it will not include 16. Okay, so it will print from 12 to 15 only. Okay, so print the value of I, it will print 12, 13, 14, and 15, and excluding the last number given in that range. So the first argument will be where the for loop variable starts, so it starts at 12, and the second argument will be up to where you want to end, but not including the number to stop at. So you are not allowed to include the number where you are stopping at, but up to where you want to stop. So it will only print up to 15, and it will exclude the last number. So here with the range function you can give the starting number as well as the ending number or the stopping number. The range function can also be called with 3 arguments. Okay, here in the above it was called with 2 arguments, here it will be called with 3 arguments. The first argument will be the start and the stop values, and the third will be the step argument. The step argument is the amount that the variable is increased by after each iteration. So after the value which you want to increase, by how many iterations you want to increase. Okay, by how many intervals, whether you want to increase it by 1 or whether you want to increase the value by 2, so that iteration you can mention here. Okay, so for I in range of starting value is 0, stopping value is 10, and it will print these values from 0 to 10 by the intervals of 2. Okay, by a difference of 2 it will print, that means 0, 2, 4, 6, like that. So print of I, so calling range 0, 10, 2 will count the numbers from 0 to 8 by intervals of 2. Okay, so by intervals of 2 it will count. So after 2, 10 is there, it will count only up to 8, because if you add plus 2 to 8 it will reach 10, and you are not allowed to include 10. So it will print from 0 to 8 by a difference of 2. Okay, so here iteration range is 2 here. So this is the starting value, this is the stopping value, and this is the step value. Okay, step argument, starting argument, stopping argument, and the step argument. Next, the range function is flexible in the sequence of numbers it produces for loops. You can even use a negative number for the step argument to make the for loop count down instead of up. That means for I in range of, you can use here negative values also for step argument. That means you can print from down to up. So for I in range of, starting value will be 5, stopping value will be -1, and with the difference of -1. So it will print 5 first, then -1 it will print 4 and 3 and 2, it will print up to 0. Okay, it will print up to 0. So running a for loop to print I with range 5, -1, -1 should print 5 down to 0. So first value will be 5, -1, 4, -3, -1, 3, 2, and 1 up to 0 till you reach -1. So -1 will not be printed, it will print up to 0. So this is how flexibly you can make use of the range function by passing them 1, 2, or 3 arguments.